and gentlemen, our friends of the Holocaust, I want you to see it. Here are our elected officials. Over here on my left, your right, we've got Chris Parker, past president, Robert Scarfo, past president, ISD. As I'm going around the room, I got city council member Fred Fickinger right here. I saw there's council member Twyla Carter back there in the back. As I'm going around, Judge, I didn't get your name. 14 Court of Appeals, Tommy McLaughlin. We got Judge Cordova, Marissa, and he's doing a great work. And soon to be our next senator, my good friend, Brett Higgins. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We are looking now for where is my Dr. Reverend Doug Stranger.
Well, look at somebody next to you and say, this event has been just for you so far. And now look at somebody on the other side and say, the rest is for me. Lord, we thank you so much for these moments together. Although we are in a very beautiful atmosphere, we're in a place of festivity, we also recognize the soberness and the seriousness of why we're here. So we ask your presence, we ask you to lead us, we ask you for every word spoken, for every speaker, for every conversation, that you would be in our midst. Would you bless this food as well? We pray all these things in your name. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Doug. Rabbi Dan Gordon. Here he comes as he makes his way up here with the Beth Torah Temple. Yes, give him a hand. For a long way. Here you go, Rabbi.
Did not arrive, but it will. Yeah. Okay. So, my friends, we're about to enjoy a feast. And in enjoying this feast, we remember not that long ago, people who were denied that very right of being able to eat. My friend Walter Case of blessed memory was a teenager when he was in the camp, and each Holocaust survivor has a different story and a different focus. I think of Walter at this time because as a teenage boy, he needed food. Teenage boys need food. And his memory was all about hunger. Every single person you meet, they have a different story. What was their need? Was it being confined? Was it pain? Was it loneliness? All the different stories. And so today, we both remember those difficulties and are grateful for what we have. There's been a lot of talk about the rise of anti-Semitism, and it is true. In Europe, in the United States, I didn't think the bad mic was anti-Semitic. I don't look for it every place. But I'm wearing a button here that says no place for hate. Every place is no place for hate. And whenever I hear the fears of anti-Semitism rising, I want to shout from the rooftops, yes, but so is tolerance and understanding. So is love and acceptance. So is the desire to learn from each other. And so the problem is that some are louder than others. And so we need to be as loud as possible. And when there are places like the Garden of Hope in Kingwood, Holocaust Museum Houston, and people who are able to tell their stories, people who are able to share, then we fulfill that motto, never again. Never again will it happen. And as our survivors are aging, it becomes incumbent upon us young people, yes, I'm going for Medicare this year. Us young people to continue to remember, to continue to educate, and to make sure never again will that hatred overtake the world. We give our gratitude for the food we have. And we also give gratitude to Three Brothers Bakery, who got caught in traffic, but is going to bring us delicious challah. The Three Brothers were all Holocaust survivors, and that's why they did the bakery. But to say a blessing over bread, I'm going to sneak a little crouton here. To give gratitude for bread, which is the slice of life, to remember our brethren who maybe a little bit of bread was all they had to eat at the time, and for us to be grateful for what we have today. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Blessed are you, God, ruler of the world, who brings us bread from the earth, and may this bread and this food nourish our bodies, our minds, and our souls, and may the fellowship that we share today nourish us all. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you. Now, I missed two representatives. I see a representative from Dan Crenshaw's office right here. And so we just want to make sure we announced all our elected officials and friends. And also from Senator Brandon Creighton's office right here. So now we will, yes, clap. Now we'll have our pledges, and that'll be done by our very own Judge Larissa Cardinal.
Please stand and join me by saying the pledge to the greatest country on the planet. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now to the greatest state in that nation. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
All right, thank you. You may be seated. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have the Consulate General of Israel in Houston to come and greet us with a few words. So, that's my good friend Hudson. He has been around a while, and he actually is older than he looks. I will say younger. Come on, Hudson, come on up.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Hudson Peterson, and I serve as the Director of Political Affairs at the Consulate General of Israel in the Southwest. It's an honor to join everyone here today on behalf of Consul General Lydia Link-Raviv and the entire consulate staff. We are grateful to the Holocaust Remembrance Association and Holocaust Garden of Hope for their tireless dedication to Holocaust remembrance and education. As we honor the righteous among the nations, we are reminded that even in humanity's darkest chapter, there are those who chose light. Their legacy compels us to ensure that never again is not only a remembrance of the past, but a responsibility for the present. On behalf of the Consulate General of Israel, thank you for keeping the memory alive, for building bridges of understanding, and for standing steadfast against anti-Semitism in all of its forms. Thank you.
Thank you, Hudson. And now we will have acknowledgments and our sponsors, and we're going to have our Humble ISD trustee, past President Chris Parker, and her husband Jason as they come up.
Thank you, Mr. Cunningham. Partner here, Jason said, which part of the script do you want me to read? And I'm like, you're good, we're good. So today would not be possible without our amazing chairperson, Amy Barlow. Amy and your fabulous husband, will you please stand back there? We would also like to thank Leslie Whitkoff. Thank you for your efforts collecting all of the donations for the auction. If you are a member of the Beauty for Ashes Committee, would you please stand? Great job, and the decorations are beautiful. Thank y'all so much for such a wonderful event. Next, we would like to extend our gratitude to the Holocaust Remembrance Association Executive Board, Advisory Board, and employees. If you are a member of one of those, would you please rise? We extend our heartfelt gratitude to the following sponsors, community partners, and friends whose generosity and support make today's Beauty for Ashes luncheon possible. Please hold your applause till the end because it's quite the list. So thank you to our sponsors, Carol Goldman Bible Study, Citizens State Bank, City on the Hill, Community Bank and Phoenix Lending Services, Community Impact Newspapers, Dixon Jewelers, Dr. Rachel Towns, Erica and Dwayne Johnson, The Forest Image Magazine, Friends of Rachel Harlan and my mom, Eileen Boer, Friends of Scott Green and Marielle Rocha Narvaez, HCA Healthcare Kingwood, Homewood Suites, the Honorable Brett Liggett, my friends over here, Humble Independent School District, Humble Noon Lions Club, Judge Larissa Corduba, Judge Todd Frankfurt, Jose Castellanos, Joy Brazington, FFOZ Woodlands, Kingwood Businesswoman, Lake Houston Rotary Club, Loco Cantina, Megaton Brewery, Minuteman Press of Humble, Mixed Emotions Gallery and Framing, Plains State Bank, Sam Caldwell, Senior Source, Sheila Turner and Associate, State Representative Charles Cunningham, Steve Finkelman, and Brent Churchill. And lastly, the Barlow family. Can we please give them a round of applause? Now let's show our appreciation to our host committee. Again, please hold your applause until the end. Devin Alexander, Eileen Boer, Joy Brazington, Connie Chandler, Quita Freeman, Carol Goldman, Jenny Grayson, Rachel Harlan, Janet Huberty, Rosalie Jerome, Sherry Logan, Olivia Marburger, Krista Elise McCourt, Sharon Norman, Jennifer Reynolds, Chris Sarvati, Kim Schreck, Kathy Shepard, Nigel Singh, Dr. Rachel Towns, Sheila Turner, Leslie Whitkoff, Sandra Young, and Juanita Zavala. Can they please get a round of applause? Lastly, if you are a table host, would you please stand? Table hosts, on behalf of the Beauty for Ashes Luncheon and the Holocaust Remembrance Association, please accept one of these mums as you exit as our gift for your efforts. Thank you so much. And at this time, we will take a short break as you enjoy your lunch.
All right, everybody. We want you to continue joining your lunch. Next up, well, let me back up a little bit. I told them, I said I'll do this on one thing, that we start on time and that we end on time. So we're going to stay on time. And so next, I'm going to be bringing up Mitch and Rosalie Jerome with the Holocaust Remembrance, and they're going to have the floor for a little while. as they come and share with us a few things. So, Mitch? Just Mitch, okay. Rosalie's coming up later. Mitch Long.
Well, good afternoon. I get 3 minutes to tell you about the Holocaust Remembrance Association. So the mission of the HRA is to sensitize hearts to the Holocaust and stand up and confront modern-day anti-Semitism. In simple terms, we exist to push back the spirit of hatred towards Jewish people in Israel and to raise upstanders and not bystanders. You guys on board? Back in 2021, our exceptional Governor Abbott passed a bill, the Holocaust Education and Anti-Semitism Lessons Act, making it mandatory to teach the Holocaust in all of Texas schools. "19 other states followed suit, but if you do the math, that means 31 did not. So one of our long-term goals for the HRA is a traveling Holocaust museum to bring education and remembrance to these areas where there's no Holocaust museum and no curriculum. So education is the heartbeat of our organization. One expression of that that's ongoing right now is our Upstander Stone project. And if you remember the movie Schindler's List, you saw the Jewish people putting a stone by the gravesite. It's a tradition to remember their loved ones. Versus flowers that die, the stone will always be there. So we have 1.5 million children that were murdered in the Holocaust, and our Upstander Stone project is to memorialize these children. So we have a bag of stones, paint and everything to give to civic groups, to give to congregations, to bring it to the schools. Humble ISD has taken this on. So we have Humble ISD here to take these. And teachers can use them as a way to introduce the Holocaust lesson with compassion and context as the kids are memorializing the children that had never made it through. Another project is Dr. Cheryl Craig of Texas A&M, internationally known scholar, Houston Endowment Chair, founding director of a collaborative of teachers, basically creating a curriculum to teach teachers how to teach on the Holocaust. And this collaborative reaches 20 states and 18 other countries. And she's using the Holocaust Garden of Remembrance, our virtual site, to pull that curriculum together. And then right here in Kingwood, our brick and mortar showcase, the Holocaust Garden of Hope, behind Zamides. We have 3 exhibits completed. We have 5 more to go. And if you come on a Sunday afternoon, we have trained docents through curricula by Dr. Susanna Kokanon that had trained them to take you through a free tour of our garden. And then, not to forget, the March of Remembrance, 13 years now. We're being visible, we're vocal, Jews and Christians joining together, marching on International Holocaust Remembrance Day, or around that time, to march in solidarity, standing against anti-Semitism. We do this at universities, we do it in cities, we're out there in the public like we need to be. Next one will be in January. But as meaningful as all of these projects are, you guys, our sponsors, our volunteers, our supporters, are the reason that we're able to make this possible. We can't thank you enough. I want to share something simple. I bought me a Apple Watch recently, and anyone who has one of them, you know if you're sitting too long in your seat, it gives you an alarm. Time to stand up. And if you do it, heed the call throughout the day. At the end of the day, it applauds you. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So have we really come to a place where we need a watch to applaud us and give us affirmation just for standing up from a chair? Juxtapose that with the kind of standing that we are calling you to do today as upstanders. Standing against anti-Semitism, standing against the lies and slander about Israel, standing against the delegitimizing of Israel's right to exist in her own land. So these are the real issues, and we applaud you guys for being here. I want to end with this. After watching a 46-minute Hamas massacre put together by the Consul General in Houston, Israel's Consul General, from body camera video of October 7th of the slaughter, the massacre, at the end of that, Israel was in a war on 7 fronts, 7. And it didn't look so great. But when Consul General Livia Lake-Raviv got up there, she said, do not worry about the IDF, 7 fronts. Said, they got this handled. This is way before the pagers and all the other. But she was so resolute in her statement. But then this is what she said that stuck. What burdened her was, we are losing another battle on the college campuses, on the social media, in the public square. And people, that's where we come in for such a time as this. God has always used the remnant, correct? Not the masses, to do his work. In Hebrew it says, Hineni, we are here. We are the ones, call us, we'll volunteer. And in days like these, there's no shortage of any reason not to stand up and speak up. So we thank you guys for being upstanders, being influencers. May we continue on here, that every year we can continue to say, I'm Yisrael Chai. Thank you. We're going to share with you now a 4-minute video of a true upstander who saved 40,000 people from the jaws of the Nazi machine.
One of the largest scale rescue missions during the Holocaust is also one of its least known. It involves an unlikely friendship between a Romanian businessman and a Salvadoran diplomat, who together broke laws, forged documents, and saved tens of thousands of lives by doing so. José Arturo Castellanos Contreras was born in El Salvador in 1893. His father was a general, so at 16 years old, Castellanos entered a prestigious military school and spent the following 2 decades in the Salvadoran army. He found success in the military, climbing all the way to the Army's second chief of staff, but his career was cut short when he was made a Salvadoran diplomat to Europe. El Salvador's then president, Maximiliano Hernández Martínez, had risen to power in a coup and was murdering dissidents. Unintimidated by this, Castellanos called the government fascist and repeatedly spoke out against the president. Rather than kill him, the president sent Castellanos away to England and then to Germany on the eve of World War II. Castellanos arrived in Germany in 1938 and witnessed firsthand the Nazi-sponsored terrorism against the Jewish community. In November of that year, German civilians and Nazi forces took to the streets and attacked Jewish homes, synagogues, and businesses. The mob beat people in public, and over 30,000 Jewish men were sent to death camps. The event is known as Kristallnacht, or Night of Broken Glass, named for the shards that littered German streets where storefront windows had been smashed in. Dismayed, Castellanos Contreras wrote to El Salvador's foreign minister and asked for permission to grant visas to Jews attempting to flee Europe. His request was denied, and he was swiftly sent to Switzerland for fear that he would rock the boat with Germany. There, he met Romanian Jewish businessman Georgi Mendel, who had fled to Switzerland in the summer of 1942. Even though Switzerland was a neutral country, it had strict refugee laws, and Mendel and his family were at risk of deportation. As their friendship developed, Castellanos started to formulate a plan to help Georgi. For the second time, Castellanos appealed to the Salvadoran government for permission to grant visas to refugees. Again, they refused. But this time, Castellanos took matters into his own hands. With falsified documents, he gave Mendel a new identity and Salvadoran citizenship, changing his name from Georgi Mendel to George Mantelo. While the citizenship papers could potentially save Georgi from deportation, it could not ensure his safety. So Castellanos took it a step further and appointed Mendel as the first secretary of El Salvador's Swiss Council. Essentially, Castellanos gave Mandel an official position that didn't exist. Regardless of their lives being in danger, Castellanos and Mandel were concerned with the many more lives at risk. They started a rescue operation by recreating the very certificates that Castellanos made to save Mandel's life and sent them to Jewish recipients in all corners of Nazi-occupied Europe. Mandel hired college students in Switzerland to help him forge what became thousands of fake documents. Most, if not all, of the recipients had never set foot in El Salvador. And yet, a single piece of paper with his country's name on it provided at least some hope of survival. Mandel and Castellanos are among the many unsung heroes of World War II. Mandel would receive recognition for his deeds before dying in 1992, but Castellanos' role would not be recognized until after his death. You see, after the war, Castellanos returned to El Salvador. He lived out the rest of his days in relative obscurity, and he never saw his act as heroic. He truly believed he did what anyone in his position would do. He simply saw a friend in danger and did what was necessary to help him. It is estimated that the secret mission of Castellanos and Mandel may have saved anywhere from 10,000 to 40,000 lives, perhaps more.
Where is he? We have with us Jose Castellanos Jr., the grandnephew of this amazing rescuer. Where is he? Where's Jose? Let's give him a hand. Jose, this is the Holocaust Remembrance Association's Beauty for Ashes Humanitarian Legacy Award in recognition of the enduring light of the Castellanos family's heroism. May this tribute remind us that one person's moral conviction can transform the course of thousands of lives.
Thank you, Rosalie, for doing all this with us. This recognition for a person who never received this recognition where I was alive. Coronel Castellanos never was recognized for his actions during his life. Coronel Jose Arturo Castellanos, Riots Among the Nations. It was a fight of David versus Goliath. The teeny country of El Salvador, the underdog, versus the mighty Third Reich Nazi Germany. It was the fight of the Colonel Castellanos and businessman George Mandela against the Führer Adolf Hitler and SS Nazi Heinrich Himmler. It was a fight between the good and evil. Colonel Castellanos helped to save between 25,000 and 40,000 human beings. He did this act because it was the right thing to do. He stated in an interview many years later, before he died, anyone in my shoes would have done the same thing. He performed this act simply because of humanitarian reasons and compassion for the Jews under Nazi persecution. It was an act of peace in a time of war. God allowed him to perform this act, and he did it. Or you have done the same thing, don't you? Amazing. Colonel Castellanos performed this act not for personal gain. He never get a cent out of this. He was motivated to save human life. It was done purely for humanitarian reasons. It was a simple, rational reason in a complex, turbulent time. We wish to honor his spirit of human altruism. He was simply a person with higher human standard. His action can be explained by the human behavior theories such as Maslow's hierarchy needs. We posit that the human behavior at higher levels involves individuals striving to serve others. Issuing Salvadorian citizen document was not a simple operation. The fascinating part is that they were able to cross Nazi lines to reach information vital to report the Holocaust to the West, including the U.S. State Department, and eventually helped to liberate the Jews from the prisoner camps. It could be considered an espionage mission. It was an undercover activity. Colonel Castellano was my father's godfather, uncle, protector, mentor, and he followed his footsteps to become an army colonel. His name was Luis Alonso Castellano. My grandmother, Lydia Castellano, who immigrated to San Francisco, California, while Colonel Castellano went to Europe. I was named after Colonel Castellano, Jose Arturo Castellano. On behalf of the Castellano families and the people of El Salvador, I'm honored to receive this recognition today. Thank you.
I forgot to say one more thing. When we met him,
One more thing. The most important thing here today is to recognize Wally Huerta, who was the architect for the Garden of Hope. We worked together for many years developing this project, and also to Roberto Obregón, who helped us with the surveying work. Thank you so much, Wally, and thank you to Roberto, who is not here today.
stay right there. Hold on. Wally, please stand up. Where is Lauren Griffith? Please stand up. Okay. Wally is the one who built the arch that we love, and Lauren is the one who designed the whole exhibit, okay? Right here. And the last thing is, when I first met Jose, where's Claudia Kiesinger? She's a Nazi descendant. We had Starbucks. I have to say this. Where are you, Claudia? Stand up, please, wherever you are. Me, a second-gen descendant of Holocaust survivors. Jose, descendant of rescuers. The three of us were sitting in Starbucks in Kingwood. He was the first one to buy a brick in the garden. Yes, and he also donated the landscape survey. So I just wanted to tell you that he cares.
Thank you. Sorry I took over the 1 minute.
I went over about 1 minute, so did I. Don't break that. Okay, I'm going to introduce. Yes, we can have joy. Shaya Ben Yehuda is the former. Come on, Shaya. Up. Shaya Ben Yehuda is here from Israel. He is the former director of international relations of Yad Vashem, which is the World Holocaust Remembrance Center in Jerusalem. He was there for 30 years. It's a big deal that he's here. He worked together with Dr. Kokanan for 10 years, and he only has 5 minutes.
Good afternoon, Holocaust survivors, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. Earlier this week, we marked 87 years since Kristallnacht. That night, my mother looked out her window in Breslau and saw the synagogue just 100 meters away from her house burning. The next morning, her father, my grandfather, was taken to Buchenwald. From her window, facing the Gestapo headquarters, my mother watched as Jews were loaded onto trucks and taken to the concentration camps. That same night, the family's coat factory was destroyed. My mother was sent the following morning to find out what had happened. She came back and told the family that the machine had been thrown into the street and the factory was set on fire. That same night, in Austria, the Chief Shul synagogue, where my grandfather prayed, was also destroyed by fire. I was named after the rabbi of that shul, Rabbi Shaya Furst. My father fled from Austria after the Anschluss, the annexation of Austria by the German by Germany in March 1938 and arrived in the land of Israel.
It's going to be over there.
And arrived in the land of Israel as on illegal immigration. In 1941, he joined the British Army, where he served until 1946. When he returned, he immediately participated in the War of Independence and the effort to establish the State of Israel, a homeland for Holocaust survivors and the remnant of the Jewish people. Throughout my childhood, my father would repeat one message over and over: we are alone. We have no friends in the world. We can not rely on any other, rather on ourselves. After all of that, after all what he have seen and about his family who suffered and what he have seen in concentration camps across Europe, my father lost faith in the nations of the world. I grew up with that message that we are alone, deeply ingrained in me. And then, when I was a little boy, 6 or 7 years old, something happened that I will never forget. One evening, a young blonde man knocked on the door. My father invited the stranger man in, and my mother prepared him dinner. I was amazed. How could this be? I had been told all my life that we don't have any friends. And yet, my parents welcomed this stranger so warmly. The young man was a tourist from Finland, as Susanna, who came to volunteer at the kibbutz. It was the first time I had ever seen a non-Jew and heard about such a country. And from the kindness of his face, I started to realize perhaps we were not completely alone after all. Years later, during my work at Yad Vashem, I met many friends, Christian friends, who became lifelong companions. Together with them, we founded the Christian Friends of Yad Vashem. Through that partnership, I got to know Dr. Susanna Kokkonen, who organized delegation of members from the European Parliament and brought them to Yad Vashem. When my friend, Reverend Malcolm Hedding, director of the International Christian Embassy, told me that Dr. Susanna Kokkonen had agreed to leave her important position in the European Parliament to lead the Christian Friends of Yad Vashem, I found it hard to believe. Yad Vashem was lucky to have a top-tier professional. Dr. Kokkonen earned her PhD in Holocaust studies at the Hebrew University in Jerusalem. She became an outstanding partner in our efforts to promote Holocaust education and remembrance throughout the Christian world. Whenever I wanted to learn more about the Bible, I would turn to Susanna. She knew the scriptures better than anyone in our department. She was a true partner exploring the connection between the Christian world and the Holocaust, and in pushing forward the moral reckoning that Christianity needed to confront after the tragedy. Together with Dr. Kokkonen, I realized we are not alone. Through her, I met many dedicated Christian friends. Together, we organized a series of seminars for Christian educators and leaders from around the world. Some of them are here. Dr. Kokkonen made a tremendous contribution to Holocaust, to Yad Vashem and to Holocaust remembrance. But more than that, Susanna became a close friend. She taught me something my father could never have imagined, that we, the Jews, the Jewish people, are not alone. Thank you, Susanna. I'm pleased to call Dr. Susanna Kokkonen to address us.
Holocaust survivors, Representative Charles Cunningham, Rosalie and Mitz Jerome, Shaya Ben Yehuda, consuls, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. What are the circumstances present in World War II that make it such a monumental confrontation? First, it was still and still is the deadliest war the world has ever seen. The whole globe was involved. Even the neutral countries had to cooperate with the warring partners to retain their neutrality. Second, new and deadly weapons of mass destruction were used for the first time. Third, the number of civilian deaths was unprecedented. The civilians did not die just as collateral damage. No, this war was different because civilians were targeted specifically. And what we need to realize is that among all these civilians, there was one group, only one group, that was targeted, destined, designated for complete destruction. And that group was the Jews of Europe. Historian Lucy Davidovich argued that during World War II, in reality, there were two wars going on at the same time. One of them was the military war fought by armies in the Eastern Front, in the Western Front, in the Pacific, and so on. And the second war was the war against the Jews, specifically against the Jews of Europe. In the spring of 1944, something happened in Budapest, Hungary. The Jews of Hungary, up to that point, had suffered. They had become impoverished. They were living in a crisis, but they had not been touched by the actual mass murder. In other words, they had a fair chance of surviving this period. In March 1945, Adolf Eichmann, one of the chief architects of the Holocaust, arrived in Hungary, and that put them in immediate mortal danger. Eichmann's henchmen now started collecting the Jews of Hungary and putting them on trains, sending them to Auschwitz-Birkenau, the largest of all death camps. When I was working at Yad Vashem in Jerusalem, I had the distinct honor to take my visitors to the archives and show them some of the millions of documents we have there. One of the most remarkable documents is known as the Auschwitz album, and it is a collection of photographic evidence. At the end of the war, a survivor, a young girl, Lili Galili, found this album. Shortly after liberation, survivors were at that point staying in the former concentration camps. The SS had gone, they had escaped, they didn't want to be captured. And this young girl, she went to the SS men's barracks at the camp of Dora to find clothing for herself. And there she saw this album, she opened it, she started to looking at the pages, and she identified her own family. The SS photographers had photographed everything. They show in the pictures how a train is weighted, how its arrival, they wait for it to arrive, how they stand there in their smart uniforms just waiting, and then they show how they select who is going to live a little longer and who is going to be sent to an immediate death. In the very last pictures of the album, you see the others. One of the astonishing things about this album is the number of people that were brought to Auschwitz on these Hungarian transports. The murder system that was almost functioning perfectly could not handle such large numbers of arrivals. the gas chambers needed to be cleaned. So in the photos, we see women and children walking toward a woods area where they are waiting. What would the mothers be saying to their children in that situation? Did they know that their men were already dead? In one of the photos, you see a little boy, and she is handing out a flower to her mother. I do not know if the mother knew that in a few hours' time, that boy and herself would no longer exist. There was no question here that they wanted to benefit from their labor, because the SS did not even register them as they arrived. They were sent straight to the gas chambers. So we actually have no record of them. They came on the train and they were just sent to their deaths. Now I would like to draw your attention to the fact, the timing of this. The Hungarian Jews were brought to Auschwitz-Birkenau in the spring and early summer of 1944. What was happening in the world at the same time? What was the United States of America involved in at that same time? The landing in Normandy, 6th of June 1944. So the meaning of this is very clear. If there were two wars going on in Europe at the same time, there was a war at the military front and the war against the Jews of Europe. Precious resources, men and trains were needed for the fight in the Eastern Front. But they were taking Hungarian Jews to Auschwitz-Birkenau knowing that they had lost the war. Because I'm telling you, the moment the America got involved in the war, they had lost the war. This confirms the thesis that there were two wars in Europe. So how and why? Clearly, there was an inherent anti-Semitism as part of the European culture. And this anti-Semitism is what made it possible for the societies to reject the Jews at the hour they most needed them. Many Jews had been creating the European society since the Enlightenment. They had been authors, musicians, composers. They had been part of creating the culture. But now, as the writer Albert Memmi said, they were betrayed by that same culture. So if the society was mostly either against the Jews or unwilling to help them, who is the man we are celebrating here today? We have stories from Budapest where various diplomats and businessmen were trying to save Jewish lives as best they could. They had to negotiate with the Nazis. They had to give out false identification papers. They had to have money. And there was no guarantee that any of this would work. There were many people who spoke up. There were some people who sacrificed their lives. These are the people we know as the righteous among the nations, a Talmudic term referring to Jews who acted fairly with the Jewish community. They had to make a moral choice because you do not risk your life just for anything. And there seems to be nothing they have in common. They come from all social classes, educational backgrounds, and religions. So how are we to understand this? How are we to understand this, that two men might be studying in the same school, having the same friends, and then in one moment they make such opposing choices? I do not have an explanation. You have to think about it in your heart. If if some of these murdered Jews were not even registered, if we don't have a record of them arriving and dying, the question is, are their stories forgotten? And why do we need to retell those stories? Dear friends, I would like to suggest that today we live in an increasingly complex world where moral boundaries are blurred. It is exceedingly difficult for us to separate truth from false. We may not know how to stand up against anti-Semitism in our midst, but I need to remind you of something. This hatred we have all witnessed in our streets in the past 2 years is the very same hatred that ultimately made the Holocaust possible. Today you are here because you have chosen to be here. Today you are here because you have chosen to remember. Remembrance is a biblical commandment. We are supposed to pass on memories to future generations. But we also need to be responsible to act at this time we are living in. People living in the 1930s and 40s were making choices in a more complex world than we can even imagine. You and I, we need to make our choices today. And for me, I would like to suggest that our only guide in making these choices has to be the eternal Word of God. Deuteronomy 30:19. This day I call the heavens and the earth as witnesses against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose life so that you and your children may live. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Shia. Dr. Copeland, thank you also. So one thing is true about history. In order to know where you're going, you have to know where you come from. And as we continue to make sure, we will always say never again. And so now I have some good news. We're about to introduce someone who's going to allow all of us to participate. So I want to bring up, and where is my city council member, Twyla Carter? There she is. Twyla, y'all give her a hand. And she makes it to the floor.
How about over here?
Look.
Go over there, or go over here.
Yeah.
It's always good to see our Representative Cunningham. Sometimes I see him at lunch, at breakfast, at dinner. Somebody says, "Oh, I saw Charles Cunningham the other day," and I'm like, "Yeah, I saw him 3 times." It's all good. It's all good because he's a really good guy. We're happy to have him around supporting us. You know, Dr. Kokinen, thank you for your words. As you were speaking, I was writing. Because you reminded me, certainly one of my favorite quotes, and it's on my desk down at City Hall. And it comes from, there's a story behind it, and you were there. But anyway, it's Ronald Reagan, our late President Ronald Reagan. Is it going to be? Yeah. So back when he was his inaugural address for 1967 as governor of California, he said, "Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same." So true. And that's why we're here today, because we have to teach. Is this cut out or is it just me? It's just me. It's all about the equipment here. But no, we must teach young people today that we must never forget. You know, back in 2009, I was able to visit Dachau, and somebody said, "How could you do that?" And I said, "How could I not?" In 2009, it was in the dead of winter. In 2022, I visited again in the spring. How could I not? How could I pass that way and not go and see and walk in silence and remember? And we must always teach the future generations that we must remember. And the Garden of Remembrance, thank you, Rosalie, that's what you're doing. Give her a round of applause. Because it takes fortitude and perseverance, and you know Rosalie, she does that. We're gonna give her credit. She does that. But today we've got 3 great auction items, and
All right, let's get Twilight hand. Guys, you're amazing. Some of you, though, you don't really care about doing the big thing. You may not like all of that stuff. But there's, somewhere here, there's one of these. Can you please pick this up, everyone? There was supposed to be a giving envelope in it. Oh, that's the best part right there. So there's giving envelope, please. Where's the ladies with the baskets? Please come here now. Where's the basket, ladies? Okay, those of you who like to give silently, please do it now. While you're doing that, you could do a scan or take the envelope and put stuff in. The basket lady is going to take it from you, wherever they are. I want to acknowledge first, and I didn't get to do it, all Holocaust survivors in the room. If you can stand up, please do right now. Help them stand up, please. All the survivors, and help them stand up. We have, make sure that you get pictures with them and you go say hello later, okay? That's Morris Norinsky, Michael Spiegel, Edith Jucker, and Ruth Steinfeld. One more hand right there. Okay, all people who are descendants of Holocaust survivors, please stand up. 2nd and 3rd gen, 4th gen. Let's give, yes, because we're alive. We're alive. Come on, Paula, stand up. Because of rescuers. Okay, all people who are descendants of rescuers, please stand up, or descendants of liberators, please stand up. Thank you. Right here. All right, I just wanted to, oh, and I guess, did I miss anybody? No, right? Okay. So, where's the basket people? Can you please come forward by me right now? Please, with your baskets, who's ever helping. We don't want whatever you're putting in the envelope, God willing you want to do that, that it gets left on a table. We're thankful that you came, that you bought raffle tickets. Thank you, Cynthia, for getting everybody at your table, and other people who did that. We bless you. Come on, quickly. All over so please do this. If you are writing a check or whatever, put it in. And let the basket ladies, Avery. And I also want to quickly thank, before we have the singers, I need Claudia to help me with this quickly, wherever you are. I want to honor Amy. Where is Marielle? Amy, Marielle, and Chris Parker. Where is Claudia, please? I need to give, come on, hurry up. Where is Marielle? Hurry up, Marielle. Claudia. Okay, well, I don't know where she is, but there's flowers. There they are. Over here is our honorary chair, Chris Parker. Let's give her a hand. And where's Jason? He could. This is for Amy. We've been staying up 5 days, for months, late at night. Please honor Amy. Her husband hopefully doesn't hate me. She's the chair, first time ever. And we have co-chair Marielle right here. Let's honor her, please. And everybody's asking about the decorations. Carol, please stand up. Okay, I am done, right? Am I done? We had the raffle thing. Wait, Juanita, come here. Juanita is the one who organized all of the baskets. Can we please honor her? Where are you, Juanita? You'll get your flowers another time. All right, do you have an announcement about the raffles so people who won, they know what they're doing? Basket people walk around. Juanita, who's giving that information?
Here right now, this is the winner.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up right quick. Just want to remind everyone for the baskets, go and be able to go ahead and collect. Want to end with a final thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for our guests. Thank you for the Holocaust. We are along. And we're going to introduce Beth Higgins to sing God Bless America, and then we're going to be out of here. But once again, I just want to say thank you. Okay, hold up. We're going to go ahead and get some names here. I think these are baskets. And I guess if I call your name, you know what you have. I see 1 through, okay. Basket number 1, this is going to be Linda Prater. Okay, basket number 2, we're going to have Tiffany Avila. Number 121 is going to be Rosalie Jerome. 110, basket 4, excuse me, okay. I'm giving out your dollar amount. Okay, basket number 4, that's going to be Angela Bevin. And basket 5, Janet Uberty. 6 is going to be Phyllis Cozena. 7, Christina McCourt. 8, basket 8, Constantine Therrett. And basket number 9 is going to be Maggie Mintakas. And basket 10 just says Fred. I only know one Fred, he said it's not him. Okay, Fred, number 10. If there's a Fred in the house, you got basket number 10. Number 11, Amy Byers. 12 is going to be Iris Graff. 13, Lynn Turner. 14 is going to be Russell Pilar. 15, Brenda Sheffield. I know this one right here. 16, Sherry. She's over here. 17, Claudia Kinzinger. 18, Linda Prater. Basket 19, Paige Cherry. Paige is her. And 20 is going to be, okay, Maggie, you're in it again. You've got 2. Kentuckus, and then Devin Alexander. Basket number 21. Melinda Wilcox, 22. Amy Lee, basket 23. Basket 24 is going to be Linda Stewart. 25, Linda Prater again. 26, Sherry again. 27 is going to be Darla. I think it's her right there. I don't know. Anyway, 28, Christy Shelton. 29, Devin Alexander again. 30, Christy Shelton again. 31, Phyllis Consina. 32, is that Angie or Tangi? That's Tangi Doss. 33 is going to be Juanita Zavala. And 34 is going to be Emily Lee. 35, Melina Wilcox. 36 is going to be Rachel Towns. 37, Liz Romo. 38, Jen, looks like Pisani. And last but not least, 34, our city council member, Twyla Carter. Okay. And one last thing too, those that didn't know, we've got some fabulous wine bottles. Well, we've got some fabulous wine in the bottle. $25 and up. Please stop by. And I think with that, I'm through. Boy.
One more thing. We are going to sing God Bless America in a minute. He's going to acknowledge. But just so you should know, where's Harry? Harry, stand up. Where's our docents? Look at Harry back there. He speaks German. He's the head of our docents who give tours of the garden. If you want to get a tour today, what time, Harry? 2 o'clock. At the Holocaust Garden of Hope. Can you say Holocaust Garden of Hope? And you just put that in maps and it'll take you there.
Thank you, Rosalie. All right. Come on. We are on our way out of here. And as we come up and sing, I want to say to everyone, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now let's go out.
I won't take long, but many of you know the song God Bless America. It's one of the most loved songs. So many people want it to be the anthem. Since 9/11, it's been sung over and over. $10 million of royalties have been raised, all donated to the Boy Scouts of America by a man named Israel Balin. Israel Balin is known as Irving Berlin, an immigrant from Russia that came to escape the pogroms.
Wow.
While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us pledge allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Thank you.